Hello, hello, hello. As always, it's a joy to be with you on The Short Answer. Welcome to The Short Answer. I am Dr. Sue Morter, and for those of you that I have not yet met, we provide this little space to just speak to little topics here and there and give you some things to think about from a different perspective that might facilitate you awakening in your life to a better way of living, another way of perceiving, and certainly a development of a higher state of consciousness in your own life experience. And so the short answer is something that we have been doing. We just counted it up for 10 years. And this is the second to the last episode of something that's been happening for 10 years at Mortar Institute. So that's pretty fun and exciting to think that we've been doing it for 10 years. Now, the reason that it's okay that it's the second to the last one is that it is overlapping the launching of a podcast that I am doing called The Art of Awakening. And so I'm thrilled to be moving into the podcast with a larger outreach to even more of our conscious community around the world, and having a little bit more time, just a couple of more minutes really to speak into topics. And half of the time I'll be interviewing other luminaries and teachers out there in the world, and also interviewing some real deal people that are living what it is that we're talking about in such beautiful ways that I want to give a voice to that. We have artists and musicians that kind of hang in the background, but I watch them work and I watch them speak to each other or engage in life in such beautiful ways that I want to bring that forward. I also have deep philosophers and some really poignant, high-level, high consciousness thinkers that I'm going to be bringing forward into conversations about the art of awakening. There are many, many ways that we awaken, and I want everyone to recognize that there may be a version of life that serves them better in their own awakening process than what the standard and traditional ideas of what illumination, enlightenment, embodiment, and awakening are all about. I want everyone to understand that we each have our own way of processing into a higher state, a higher version of who we are. And so the Art of Awakening is going to be in great celebration of that. And we're already underway. We've launched a couple of episodes, so join us there. And that information is available to you in the information space below. And so I also want to make a couple of other announcements while we're here before we dive into our topic of the short answer, which has to do with othering. It has to do with the pain that we experience on planet Earth because of othering. And you're going to absolutely love what is coming regarding that. So let me just announce that the Art of Awakening online course is also being launched right now. It's a new course that I've created. It has bonuses that are available. If you're jumping into that course now, you may be aware of part of our launch and the things that we've been doing this past week to bring your awareness to that. It's a 12 online module course that teaches the foundational principles of the energy codes, but it, of course, is an updated version of that, of how we come to it and the applications of how it applies in our lives and how we can work with these beautiful concepts. But we needed an introductory course, and so I generated one with our team member Andrea, and have had a wonderful time putting that together for you. And I can't wait for you to be able to plug into it. It's teaching you how to manifest and how to create your best life, of course. And it's doing so by getting underneath the story and the drama and the trauma of your life and working with the raw energy that this world is actually made of. And so I know that you'll be thrilled to plug into that. If you haven't ever taken a course with me, this is a great way for you to really get the nuts and bolts of what it is that I'm talking about when I talk about building circuitry and how all of that works together. All right. So there are bonuses, including extra live manifesting calls with me in January. If you register by this Friday, the 22nd, you get all these extra bonuses, et cetera. So the links are in the comments below. There also is the new podcast, The Art of Awakening. It's different than the Art of Awakening course. This is the podcast that I was just speaking about with special guests each month. And also, I'll be speaking on some of them live the entire time myself as well. So like and follow us so that you don't miss a thing. And the link for that is in the comments as well. You're going to want to plug into that because it's a series of rich conversations that you can listen to while you're bopping about the house or doing your your errands or whatever the case may be in life. And it's always important to be able to do a both and in that way. So the short answer, we will continue to have the short answer through December, and then again in 2025 the podcast is starting. So you're going to be able to get that twice a month, and it is my goal to even bring that in more often, the podcast. So right now we only get the short answer once a month. The podcast will be twice a month, and we're moving toward trying to spread out some space in my calendar to be able to bring it to you even more often than that. So if you want to connect live, join the Gold membership, $15 a month, and you can join me live, and the opportunity to ask your questions and have exchange directly. And the first month is free, so you sign up in the link that's in the comments. All right, so that has to do with the masterclass and your ability to engage and exchange in ways that we do following the short answer this evening, in fact. So you might want to think about plugging into that. People love it. There are people that have been coming to the masterclass for years, and some people that plug into the masterclass, and that's just what they do in terms of being connected with this communication that comes out of Mortar Institute. So there's a lot in it for you. The next monthly healing transmission is Wednesday, November 27th, and it is at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And the link for that is monthlyhealingtransmission.com. And then also watch your emails for something that we'll be dropping for Black Friday, which is, a time for everybody to be doing something. And of course, we're going to show up for you with some exciting things there too. So watch for that. All right. Now, I also want to talk about the holy days. The holy days are a most reverent and special time of the year. And we're going to be doing some things during the holy days to align you with what is happening. During that time of the year, the light comes onto the planet at a very special rate and in a very special manner. And the frequencies of those energies are more aligned with you letting go of things and stepping into a new version of yourself and understanding life from a higher bird's eye view, if you will. And so we're going to be doing some things during the holy days. There'll be a Holy Days healing transmission on Wednesday, December 18th. There'll be a fireside chat, a solstice fireside chat on Friday, December 20th, and that's at 8 p.m. And there'll be global yoga for the solstice, which is 108 sun salutations. Yes, 108 of them together we will be doing on Saturday, December 21st at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And so watch your email as well for ways to plug into the holy days. Now, the reason that I'm doing meditations and transmissions and having a conversation with you and taking you to the yoga mat is that these are the things that are going to open your system to allow for a true shift in your identity, who you think you are, and what you think is possible for you in this world, and what you would even perceive as a good goal or a vision for your life will be transformed when you start to up-level your vibrational frequency by deepening your root and embodying more of your true authentic self. That is more possible during the holy days than any other time of the year. So I really want to encourage you to, make some time for yourself. Just carve it away and allow the extra supercharging that happens naturally, cosmically, to work in your favor this year. All right. So then lastly, we have Body Awake Yoga membership class. We have the first and third Thursday of the month. You can join us by signing up for the Body Awake Yoga membership. And it includes 2 new classes each month, as well as access to over 100 classes in the archives that range from chair yoga to more intense, advanced things, and a variety of things in between, of all different lengths of classes and all different orientations of intensity and levels of difficulty. So you can see the link for that in the comments as well. All right. So we are always doing a million things at Mortar Institute to come forward for you in ways that support you turning on a different version of yourself, a version of yourself that you were meant to be living all along. And nobody teaches us about it. Everyone just shows us how to to develop better coping skills, how to deal with these situations, how to kind of troubleshoot when things go wrong or go awry in your life, or how to stress manage yourself in more effective ways. And all of this is beautiful, wonderful support for humanity. And if we ever want to be preemptive and to head it off at the pass and to truly live in a different realm altogether, where we're not looking at things in such a stressful manner, we're not really setting ourselves up for becoming overloaded or overwhelmed, because we're seeing from an entirely different perspective from the beginning that allows for an entirely different interpretation of life. This is what Mortar Institute is about, and the messages of the Energy Codes and the Live Awake program and the Art of Awakening series that are coming your way. All of it is designed to help you out of what you may be even experiencing right now. I want to speak to you for just a moment about othering. And it's a big thing that happens here on planet Earth. It's a big thing that humanity is really stuck on. We're kind of plugged into it. We don't even realize it. We're hooked in. And we've certainly been in the United States through a systematic approach to really, really othering and intensifying and dividing our society. It has been a very traumatic thing that's been going on for many, many people. And around the world, there are topics that are doing the same thing when we're looking at wars and countries controlling countries, and all of the fighting that is happening is all a byproduct of othering. We've all decided that we're right and they're wrong, that this is good and this is bad. And inside of that game of duality, even though with the best of intentions, we step into it ourselves. We all think that what we're thinking is the right way to think, and what they're thinking is the wrong way to think. And everyone is thinking that. So people on both sides, if there are only two sides even, are all thinking that the other people need to think differently in order for us to all get along and to create a better space, etc. And really what I feel that this entire reality is set up for is to teach you to stop doing that. Is to teach you that no matter how right you are, things don't always go in alignment with what you think the right thing to unfold would be. Something else happens. But what we do know is that the highest good is always happening. So if we sometimes say, may the highest good be done, it means that we think there is a highest good that needs to be allowed to be happening instead of us resisting it. The highest good is always unfolding. That's what's happening. Otherwise, something else would be happening if something else was supposed to be happening. And so it's really up to us to determine if we're going to allow what is unfolding to actually be the highest good, especially when it looks like, no way, it's not that. When in actuality, if you ever use those words, may the highest good be done, then you have to always use those words. If it's ever a good idea, it's always a good idea. If it's ever going to be in your favor, it's always going to be in your favor. And it's, that's where the work is done. That's where the rub starts. And that's where the real work starts to churn. Because here's what I know, that when we do surrender into what is, we align with some kind of cosmic force that is bigger and more potent than what our conscious intellectual force would like to have unfold. What we're doing is transcending our own conscious belief system into some higher purpose of our day, some higher purpose of our life. And I also know this, that the highest purpose of your life is to awaken to the truth of who you are. And the truth of who you are is not governed by your personality. It isn't governed by your preferences, your likes and your dislikes. It's governed by your awakening to a greater version of you than the brilliant mind and loving personality that you have already developed. There's even more. There's even more light available for you. There is even more freedom and liberation available for you. So if you're in the middle of a discomfort because of how things are going in your outer world, I want to invite you to drop inside and to recognize and realize that in the midst of this beautiful medicine that is being delivered for you, you have an opportunity to surrender and to align to a higher intention, a higher vision, a higher focal point, A singularly focused mind that is interested on, let me learn the most that I can. Let me find what I need to find to live in a world of both and. May I find the good in something that I thought was all bad. May I find distinctions about something that maybe I was completely sold on, that maybe somehow wasn't going to serve my awakening as much as this is. If you happen to be in a situation right now where you're unhappy with how things are unfolding in your immediate environment or in the larger scale of the global conversation, all of it is unfolding for one reason. It is unfolding because it is unfolding, because it is developing an opportunity for humanity to awaken in the face of it. Period. What is unfolding is unfolding. It's happening energetically. Sometimes it might be polishing and rubbing against the grain for you. Sometimes it might be polishing and sliding along the grain for you, and it feels like easy breezy, a gift from heaven, manna from the heavens kind of moment. All the while, the same thing is always unfolding. It's how we come to it, what we perceive about it, that determines our life experience. So if we can truly lay down the idea of right and wrong, good or bad, and they should be doing things differently than they are, and stop othering the problem or othering the solution, we will start to awaken to the true self. We will start to awaken to the reason that we came here in the first place. The reason that we came is to awaken to the one beyond opinions, truly. To awaken to the one that is the great observer, the one that can shed light and love on everything and love into the life circumstances automatically without having to suffer for quite some time before we finally surrender into it. We other our salvation. We decide that something outside of me is going to fix it for me. And if things are going differently than you thought they would, perhaps you were on that bandwagon, that if this person got into this office or if this situation happened differently, then I would be okay and my life would be better. And actually, that is othering the empowerment of your own freedom. When you actually hold that in your own hands, it's actually in your own heart. It's actually deep within you that you can discover in an unconditional way so that you never again are really, really, really counting on someone on the outside of you to make life better for you. That's not why we're here. We're not here to figure out who's the one who's better than me, better than you. You're here to discover, where is that in me? Where is the one who has the solutions? Where is the one who will know what to do and what to say when the time is actually upon me? That's the one that you came here to find. That's really what you're doing on planet Earth. And so it is an honor and a joy and a bit of a challenge in moments like this to bring this message forward, simply because I know what's in your heart of hearts. If you're disappointed, if you're worried about people on the other side of the planet, if you're concerned about what's happening to humanity, then what we have to do is stop othering and stop blaming and stop siding, because we're siding and wondering why there are sides. We try to evolve past duality, and yet we hold fast to our dualistic opinions about who's right and who's wrong. And so at some point we got to lay it down and realize, okay, let's lean in. Let's just see. Let's just open. Let's trust. Let's align with something higher than a popularity contest. Let's align with something higher than getting so upset about what is happening in a war-torn area, and simply remain a vibration that is actually supportive to the people who are actually in those circumstances. By you getting upset, you're contributing to the dualistic power behind why war is even happening. Whereas if you can and will maintain your alliance with this highest good being done, you are now available to emit all sorts of loving support in a remote healing sort of way for those that are actually in need. They don't need more angst and anger. They're chock full of it themselves. They don't need more fear and worry. They're in it. They're delivering it. It's consuming them. What they need is some certainty and some clarity and some potency of an unwavering presence that all is well, and that we will know what to do when the time is right in every situation. unconditionally, no exceptions. That's what we're here to actually begin to recognize. Now, it doesn't mean don't take action. It means take action from a place of the grand neutrality, take action from a place of peace, take action from a place of embrace, no matter what situation we're speaking about. Because when you do that, two things happen. Number one, you evolve. And number two, you contribute something better to the bandwidth of human consciousness all the while. So there's a win-win in store for you in every single moment, in every single outcome, in every single circumstance. So notice, where's the charge? When is the charge? Where's it coming from inside of me? And can I go into that part of me with love and compassion instead of falling asleep in angst and waking up and, running straight to the news to get caught up in it all again? Don't allow for that to be an outlet in terms of you dumping all of your angst on the topic du jour. It isn't yours to do in terms of your own evolution. So come to know, where is it in me that gets so caught up in and so upset? And if I can quell that and love into it and soften and open, I might actually be able to make a greater difference in the world as a sane and comprehensive individual coming forward with some logic and some grace. Those are the kinds of qualities of energy that truly make a difference in our world. And I know that they will make a difference in the quality of your life personally. So I'm hoping this is helpful. Stop othering and start loving. Stop thinking so much and start loving more. We're entering into the holy days, which I'm thrilled about. And here's what I want you to get from that. There is an opportunity right now, starting right now until, toward the end of January, for you to be open and to be transformed and to allow. But you have to stay in the vibration of unison. You have to stay in the vibration of personal responsibility, of aligning with a both and not angsting over the topic of the day. Let's do something about that angst that is inside of you so that you can simply witness what is unfolding with a humanity that is trying desperately to grow up. So let's offer up some wisdom to the mix by doing so. All right. Much love to you all. It's always a great joy to be with you. And catch us next time for our final short answer. Much love. Bye-bye for now.